Delta Foxtrot Delta 21 Delta Foxtrot.
Welcome back to Number Stations _Live UK, where today we're going to be diving into the curious case of G14, a German number station that has been quietly operated in the background of shortwave radio for decades. Whilst not active as some more well-known stations, G14 has a distinctive voice format and signals that tells the story of a Cold War legacy, shifting technology and long-standing patterns that still hasn't fully disappeared. G14 is the Enigma designation for a German-languaged voice-based number station. It transmits via single sideband SSB and features a synthesized female voice, speaking 5-digit number groups in German. Each transmission is structured repetitively and clearly machine-generated, as it's typical for number station used in a one-time pad communication. It's widely believed that operated by the Polish intelligence service, through this has never been officially confirmed. G14 shares a technical characteristics with the other stations thought to be under Polish control, including E11 and S11A, which broadcast in English and Slavic language repetitively. Despite its low profile, G14 has been monitored for decades, and its format has evolved, which has given us the unique insights into how these broadcasts may have changed as equipment and operational priorities shifted over time. The earliest known form of what would later be classified as G14 dates back to the early 1980s, during the height of the Cold War. At this time, the station didn't really identify itself with a 5-digit ID. Instead, it used a military call sign, for example, DFD 21. The broadcast begins with a rising and falling tone, a distinctive sweep that stands out among number stations. The tone ascended in pitch, holds for a moment, then descends again. This may have been a cue for an automated recording equipment or a marker for a field receiver. This is not present in later transmissions, making it a unique hallmark of the earlier format. After the tone, the station identifies itself with the call sign DFD21. Then it begins a message containing of 5-digit number groups, spoken in a mechanical German female voice. The speech synthesis in the early broadcasts is noticeable, less refined than what it would follow. Digits are clearly articulated, but the voice is clipped and somewhat robotic. Still, the goal is obvious: deliver a one-time message over the airwaves, only open airwaves, secure and in anonymous fashion. These early versions are rarely heard today, and still are likely relics of a one time when a number station in fractures was integrated with military or state security operations, as the Stasi in East Germany or the Warsaw Pact military command structure. I am now going to play you another clip of what G14 sounds like.
Hier ist ESD 21. Hier ist ESD 21. Hier ist ESD 21. Hier ist ESD 21.
At some point lately in the late 1990s or early 2000s, G14 adopted a new format aligning more closely with E11 and S11A. The newer G14 broadcasts began without any tones or call signs. Instead, they opened directly with a 5-digit ID number spoken twice. This is followed by a 2-digit group count, then the message made up of 5-digit number groups. The structure is as follows: 5-digit ID spoken twice, 2-digit group count, message content in 5-digit groups, end of message indicator, ende. Each digit is spoken individually and slowly with a monotone, synthetic female voice. The pace is steady and the audio quality is usually quite clear. The same voice is used across E11 and S11A, just with different languages, suggesting all three are generated by the same or similar text-to-speech software. Notably, G14 does not include a 00000 end group like some other stations do. Instead, it ends with the German word for end, ende, spoken twice. The voice itself is one of G14's most recognizable features. It is a full synthetic generated by speech software rather than a human reader. It sounds very similar to the voice used for the Polish E11 transmissions. Listeners often describe it as a robotic but oddly intelligible. Each digit is spoken individually, with clear pauses in between. In earlier years, the voice was sometimes distorted or clipped, likely due to poor transmission quality or older equipment. But in the more recent transmissions, the audio is genuinely stable with strong signals and even tones. The consistency of the voice is one of the clues pointing towards a long-term automated use. G14 is not known for a fixed schedule unlike E11, which has long periods of daily broadcasts. G14 is a highly irregular. It can disappear for months or even years, then return briefly before vanishing again. This has made tracking E11 very difficult, and its many logs rely on the change recordings or tips from the global number station monitoring community. When G14 does appear, it's most commonly heard on the frequencies in the 8 to 12 MHz range, logged in examples from the community under 8130 kHz, 10255 kHz, and 11570 kHz. Most broadcasts occur during daylight UTC hours, typically between 1300 and 1500 UTC, suggesting its intended targets are located in Europe or nearby regions. Because it transmits in USB upper sideband mode, proper tuning is essential to hear it more clearly. There's no carrier or lower sideband and opening tones in the modern format. It just simply begins with the ID group. G14 widely assumes to be operated by Polish intelligence along with its English language counterpart E11 and Slovak variant S11A. While this has never been officially confirmed, several facts support the theory. The voice synthesized system is identical across all three stations. The transmission formats are structured similar. The broadcast style and modulation techniques match. The use of sideband rather than AM suggests more technically sophisticated operation typical to Polish stations. It's not believed to be connected to Germany's BND, which historically used for other systems, most notably now the defunct G10 and 11 stations, which has followed different formats and voices. G14 has become increasingly rare in the 2020s. Its last widely confirmed transmissions were logged in the early past of the decade, with scattered reports since then. There are two main theories for its silence. Number 1. Replaced by digital methods. It's possible that the intended recipients have moved or secured digital channels, making voice numbers obsolete. Or number 2. Still active but on limited or rotating schedules. Some believe that the station may still be used occasionally, perhaps for training low-level signals or backup purposes, but vastly reduced. Because of its rare appearances, confirmed recordings of G14, especially older ones like DFD21, are considered valuable among collectors. G14 may not be the loudest or most frequent number station, but it has quietly persisted across all decades, shifting from Cold War era formats with the strange tones and military call signs to the cleaner, more standardized systems that mirrors the Polish E11 station. Whether it's in use or not, G14 tells a part of the story of how intelligence agencies evolve their communication methods across the borders, languages and technologies, all hidden in plain sight, right on the shortwave dial. If you've ever heard G14 live, especially in the recent years, leave a comment below. And if you've got any recordings or logs you'd like to share, I'd love to hear them. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and follow for more deep dives into the strange, fascinating world of number stations. See you all soon.
Delta, Foxtrot, Delta, 2-1. Delta, Foxtrot, Delta, 2-1.